kick this off.
It's time.
It is Wednesday, the 22nd, the second meeting of the Waterboro Budget Committee. And I think we should start right off with Dave Lowe discussing the IT department, 32. The floor is yours, Dave.
All right, well, sorry to keep my budget so boring, but it's been pretty much flat for several years because I've found a way to stagger equipment and use leasing to keep the cost flat pretty well. So this year you'll see about a little over 6,000. It's largely driven by 320140, the contractual services, and that's the municipal software. There was a slight increase in our GIS, I think just $300, and the municipal software's gone up a bit. They've gone to a web-based system and kind of put all their eggs in that basket and are hiring a bunch of new people, et cetera, so that cost just keeps going. It's still a lot cheaper than other alternatives, but that's the biggest cost there. And then there's I see on the salary line, some COLA and benefits and whatnot. So nothing else different on there otherwise.
No, the only thing was this, the software is up about 7 points, but everything else is
Yep.
3.8. Well, the department's 3.8, but that's because the 7%'s thrown off your
Yep.
Is Dave,
COLA.
Dave 3%?
So pretty straightforward stuff.
He's still under contract at 2.
And just so you know that under his salary, he's still under contract, so his is not going to be the same as the others. I believe he's at 2.5 for the finish out his contract.
Just next year.
I think his contract's up next year.
But everything else is straightforward. I can go through these if you'd like, guys, but the numbers are the numbers, and as I say,
We could look at the tapes from the past few years if you want.
it's exactly the same. We're gonna, you know,
I mean, really.
the numbers are all the same. The only, and I've written in my notes, the only discernible difference was the software that they went over. Other than that,
Yeah.
which is pretty much out of our control. Straightforward stuff. Any questions for Dave on this?
How much do you actually take from what the franchise fee is? How much are you taking out of that as far as for equipment and things like that, or is that going
There's a
towards your
$12,000,
salary?
that 60 unclassified line is always in there. It's a nice buffer for cable repairs largely, but other emergency equipment as needed.
What do we usually get for a franchise fee per year?
We're running around pretty close to 80,000. It was a little over 80,000 in the past. Now it's like 78, 79, but it's kind of hovering around 80,000.
Okay.
And we may see some new fees, by the way, some new franchise fees, because there's a new law passed that anybody who is delivering services over even the internet, and if they have a channel changing type apparatus, that we can also set up franchise agreements with them. They're required. So that's there. And so if we get competition to Spectrum, for instance, and they come in and they think they don't have to have a franchise agreement, they wipe out your franchises. Well, that's not going to happen now. So that's law approved just this past year.
PG.
And the franchise fees, I know people keep calling it a tax, a hidden town tax, but it's not. We're able to collect franchise fees from Spectrum for use of the right-of-way for the cable. They are not obligated to do anything other than pay it, but they can pass it on. They went and fought it and got it approved that if they want to pass it on to the customer, they can. And that's why you'll see it listed on the bottom of the bill, you know, as such and such a percentage that the town is getting. But that's, you know, purely on them.
Mm-hmm.
And we've figured out along the way, they're gonna charge the same amount no matter what. They're gonna, if we don't collect franchise fees, they're gonna go up 5% and charge you that anyway, and then keep it, you know, it's just, they know what the market will bear, and that's how they operate. So they push you to the last, right? They push you to the point where you're like, oh my God, my bill went up $15, but I'm not canceling it.
No.
Because I'll handle it. They know that. They got that all worked out.
You're not guessing.
Are they still under charter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, still charter, yeah. God, when it started, it was MetroCast, and then it was Time Warner, and, I mean, they've gone,
We've had Adelphia.
Adelphia, right before that.
We've had all kinds.
Spectrum,
That was,
now it's
that's
charter.
a blast from the past.
Debbie worked for Adelphia when we were up in Augusta.
Really?
Yeah. That was real great. Up until they went to prison, it was great.
And you're still sitting there, Deborah.
I think they're still in prison.
Are they really?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, the family
Yeah.
just lined their pockets, the whole,
Yeah.
the
They used
father,
to,
the
their private
sons.
piggy bank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Frontier Vision, which sounds.
All right, Dave, I think that,
Yeah.
that takes care of you.
Craziness.
You're off the hook, man.
All right. Sorry to make it so boring. but-
Okay, why don't we move on to the library? Julie is here to tell us all we need to know.
Sure, and I think I'm a little more boring than even Dave.
Except for that $200,000 increase you got.
That's right.
Maybe no one will notice.
Exactly, that's what I was hoping. So, basically, we try to keep things, like they have been, without huge increases. There's been little tiny ones like cost of office supplies. We've added $500 as a little more of a cushion, just because we just found that everything's gone up quite a bit, and we haven't really changed that part for a while. The biggest increase I'm hoping for is in the books and periodicals, which is a plus $2,000. Our cost of books to us, typically, I would say that maybe we would pay, I'm talking like maybe adult fiction, $14.81 a few years ago. Most of those now are costing us 17 something, so there's been quite an increase, I'd say like during COVID, after COVID, all that kind of a thing. So we've absorbed most of that, but I think it would be good for us if we could just add that in. We've started purchasing a little bit through Cloud Library, where patrons can download books, where less people are checking out the actual CDs, like say to listen to an audiobook. That's diminished quite a bit. Most people really want to download it to a device, or listen right in their car while they're driving. So there's been some changes there. So we'll probably change a little bit of our buying from not really purchasing very many, if any, of the discs, and really just purchasing through Cloud Library, which is more expensive, but that's really how people want to listen now. So tiny little increase in our subscription through Cloud Library. We pay, well, it's typically been $700, I believe it's going up to $750 in the next cycle, to be a part of that consortium. But then we also have our own private, where we within the last couple of years, have started purchasing a few items. So that, say, there's like a wildly popular title that there's 350 holds on, and maybe 3 or 4 of our patrons are waiting for it, instead of making them kind of wait out the cycle, we've been adding a couple of items so that then they automatically go to the top of the list because we have purchased a copy. So that's basically that one. And the other one is tiny, like the web. We purchase AmericanAncestors.org so that people can do genealogy research from the library as well, and that's gone up from, I think, $300 to $325. But basically, I guess that's about it.
Okay.
Laura figured all of her salaries and all that type of thing for us.
All right. So the book, the increase in the book purchasing stuff reflects more a cost per copy increase
Yes.
than it does you're buying more books.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We still purchase through, we're part of, it's called MHEC, it's the Massachusetts Higher Education Consortium, so we're a part of that, and we get anywhere from, on the low, maybe of 22% discount, but most of the time, we're at about 42% discount on everything that we buy too, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And how do you decide, this is the budget, how do you decide what you're gonna buy?
Well, part of,
Other than people asking you to buy books?
well, that's a part of it.
Yeah.
There are definitely people who are interested in particular things, so we try to
People at
provide
this
that.
table have done it before. but,
But I also subscribe, that's what our dues and subscriptions, I actually get information from reputable journals and publications, and I look through everything and see what's coming out and what I think might be relevant, or, you know, you get to know the patrons quite a bit and what they might like, or, you know. We also have a number of homeschoolers, so I'm always looking for good items that would be good for everybody, but also for the homeschoolers. So, yeah, that and the word of mouth, but, yeah, all kinds of places. Try to see what's going on in Maine too, because we like to have Maine titles and, yeah, lots of different things. But mostly professional journals, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, library journal,
Yep,
book list, ALN,
all right.
yeah.
Okay, there's no sense going through the numbers. The numbers all, you hit it on the head, Julie, because I saw your salaries are right where they should be. Your supplies was the big number that I noticed, and it's a relatively small increase, but percentage-wise, it was up
Yeah.
a bit.
Well, it's, the costs on different things have gone up quite a bit, like when we're buying our supplies, and also we're purchasing our own printer inks and stuff now that we used to typically get like from Dave or whatever, so through a different part of the budget. So we're also paying that out. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Any other questions for Julie? I think we're good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie, for your
You're
time.
welcome.
All right. Now comes an exciting one. The floor is yours.
Exciting.
Actually, it doesn't look, I looked, the numbers,
So, again, we did not try to have any significant changes. We tried to stay flatline as much as we could. We added the 3%, which was obviously with the number of people, there's 12 people working there. So there's a greater impact, like you obviously see with Public Works and Transfer, in similar fashion for those lines. But, so the 3% in wages, which obviously impacts retirement. We did have an increase in overtime. I don't know if you followed the meeting last night, for example, and last week there was an email that went out to the board. Our overtime line for the current fiscal year is empty. It's already been depleted. We're down one person currently on the full-time roster for injury, work-related, and he's out for another 2 to 3 months. So we're trying to backfill some shifts there, and we've lost more per diem people. They've moved out of state, or they've other jobs, or they've had kids, or they have got married, or whatever. So we've lost people. And actually, we lost a lot prior to last year when others were picked up by other agencies nearby. And once you lose them to another agency nearby, they're not as likely to come back unless you see, you know, waving big dollars, and that's not what we were trying to do. We were just trying to get into the middle of the middle of the game. So it's not, you're not easy to do that. So anyhow, we have increased the overtime as a projection based on our usage today. We can talk about that more later as far as current year too, but that's, I think we're being conservative, and our hope is that we will recruit more part-time or per diem part-time staff. We're optimistically hoping for that. That's our goal. It's hard. Moving through employee costs, training was up slightly from 7,900 to 9,150. Training costs have not gone down. Some of the training programs have gone up. And one thing that I can tell you for this line here, isn't for this year, but with some of the proposed changes that with the OSHA standards that are changing, if they go through as written today, we're gonna see significant changes with what we have to do for training. Significantly more, in higher demand, for everybody.
So when I see like 5110 there, does that number reflect the training itself is more expensive, or there is more training being done?
Both.
Okay.
Training programs are costing more now, so an entry-level program is over $1,000. It would be anywhere, depending on what type of program it is. If it's a pro board certification, which is your baseline Fire 1 and 2 programs now, you're over $1,000. I think it's actually like $1,400 and change. And if it's a BLS class, it could be a little bit less depending on who's teaching it. Sometimes if we have internal instructors, we can save money on that, but we always don't have enough, we don't have internal instructors, you're bringing people in, and these are a lot of outsourced programs too. And I know that York County is really doing a lot with training, and obviously, I don't know if you probably all heard that they're building a multi-million-dollar training facility at York County, on the county government property, a lot through ARP money. And they'll have a lot of programs there that they'll roll out at our level here in York County. So that would be, we can take advantage of that, but those are also classes that we're going to have to pay for. We may have a different rate than other people outside of York County, but
There's still a cost attached to it.
there's still a cost for all the training programs because of the instructors coming in.
So that OSHA, you said that there could be additional training from OSHA. Is that built into this as well?
We have not even touched that yet.
Okay.
That's not even, we have to wait for that to be released.
Yeah.
There's been public comment periods, there's been a couple of them now. I sent a letter on, I guess maybe more on behalf of myself, but also for the town, but I did send a letter off to Maine Fire Training and, or MFSI, Maine Fire Training and Service Institute. And the director asked me if he could share that letter with the Senate committee that was working with them, with OSHA, and I said, I don't care who you share it with, you can share it with everybody. And I can certainly send you guys a copy of the letter I sent off, but I think that my frustration is that they're looking for people that have been doing this for many, many years, that I have no intention of going back to get XY certifications that they've created in the last 10 years.
Right.
And they're making a lot of changes and it's sweeping for everybody. So.
Okay.
Has there been a lot of pushback for that from the
I
fire
think there's been a
departments?
significant, so for example, it was Fire Officer 4 that Maine hadn't even offered, and Fire Officer 5, that, you know, these officer programs weren't even being offered in Maine. They were outsourcing and bringing in outside schools that are costing a lot of money from out of state because MFSI isn't staffed to provide these trainings across the state. And a lot of the departments, even with the chiefs, because that's what they were saying, is, you know, fire officer certification at, you know, these master level programs, which is fine, but they were also talking about the same thing we're doing right here, right now. And they want you to go back for these pro board certifications, and so that means repeating a lot of stuff that we've done for years. Some places are on board with it, and some places are fine with wanting to do it. But it's going to hurt a lot of the smaller departments, in my opinion. But I'll show you the letter I sent to you, send to them with you guys. But more of Washington getting involved in stuff that they shouldn't, in my opinion.
Don't watch the news.
That was the politically correct version.
Yes.
And so all our numbers were based on our usages from prior years. That's how we've driven these numbers. You know, when you get down through utilities, gas and diesel, I hope it goes down, but we're still running it at 20, the same as last year. Electricity, we've gone down a little bit, the same with the heat. And phone has gone up with the new phone system. We talked about that briefly last week. And Diane, just for your benefit for this, is that our brain that we had, the system was housed internally before, that it died. So we updated the system so that, and they don't make systems that are built internally or that you mount on a wall anymore. So this is a cloud-based system. And rather than paying an exorbitant amount of money for hardware up front, we essentially rent it. Or
You must lease the equipment.
yeah, so if it breaks, they replace it.
The percentage-wise, that's your big.
That was the big hit right there. The system works, I think it works, some people don't like the new technology in it, I think it works fine. But it works. And so repairs and maintenance, pretty much flat right there. It's $100 less in vehicles, no change. Equipment, I did reduce the number of sets of PPE, so that reduced that number. We're in a pretty good position right now, and we felt that this year we could try to make it work with a few less sets. There's a cost that keeps going up as well. The same with radios and pagers, pretty much status quo. We buy it's more portables and mobiles than it is pagers anymore, but when I say pagers, I'm not talking about those old-fashioned pagers, I'm talking about the voice ones that we use. And we don't buy a lot of those, but we maintain what we do have and batteries, and one or two. I usually carry one and a few others do too, but we don't have a ton of those anymore. But mobile radios and portables. Building maintenance. Let's see, where are we here? Unclassified section?
Yes.
I'm assuming you want to go line by line, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit the
Really
high
nothing,
points, you know.
nothing significant there. Same amount as last year. Call pay, we can talk about call pay for a few minutes. I told Christina I wasn't gonna talk a lot too. She didn't believe me. So, as you notice, this number has gone down continually for many years. Obviously, this year is less than last year, but then if you look back to where we were years ago, you don't even see it, but that number was $40,000 several years ago. We continuously see a decline, and I'll call them volunteers, but they're paid per call by the call force. We had an application this past week we have two, I think, right now. It's the first couple applications we've seen in a long time. And it's sad, but I get it. I know we're a bedding community. People, by the time they commute to work from Waterboro, it's an hour to work in one probably and an hour back. It's a 10-hour day, if not longer if they're working extra hours. And if they're away from home, their spouse or significant other, somebody at home wants to have them bring something back to the table for money and not to be out at the fire station. And it's hard because it's not, a lot of us started that. But that keeps going down. I don't know how to fix that. We put it on the website before. We put out feelers. And we've had some people want to do traffic control. We need people that actually that we can have that are trained to do the job, not just traffic control. We need those certified structural firefighters. We need the EMS providers. We need the advanced providers. We need the paramedics. Not everybody wants to commit to that level of training if they're already working another job. It's not the same today as what it used to be. And you can see the trend over many years. So, any questions so far?
Yeah, what is call pay?
A call pay is they get paid, a volunteer, so if you joined,
Yep.
if you go on a call, then you're paid hourly from the time of that beginning of that
Okay.
call until you go.
That's what I thought, I just wanted to,
And a lot of times, if it's 1 hour, you're coming out for anywhere from $15 to $20. And the hard part is probably, for a lot of people, it's not because of the money you're doing it for, it's because you want to help out. But in today's world, people are looking for that dollar as well.
yeah.
So it's a tough balance,
Sure.
because you're not necessarily at that call for over an hour. Recruitment for call force is a challenge. So we call call force, or call pay is for the call force, the volunteers. And I call them volunteers because they volunteer a lot of time as well. And we're down to we're well under a dozen. Was it like 7 or 8 now?
2 of them are juniors.
And so and that number keeps dropping over the years as
And they're
people
limited.
retired or moved on. And some of them over the years we've hired, so we've pulled them from one side to
Yep.
get them to work. Employee cost training on the EMS side is EMS-related training, continuing education hours to keep your licenses for all license levels, basics, advanced, and paramedics. Our dues and subscriptions really haven't changed. Again, we've tried to reduce these lines, that went down a little bit. Testing and shots, we're utilizing a different company now. We had been using occupational health in Sanford with Southern Maine Healthcare, and we have now switched to Concentra, and they're doing the medical evals for us. So this will be our first year using Concentra for respiratory fit testing. Supplies, uniforms, and ambulance equipment. Actually, a couple of them are, well, one's reduced a little bit, a couple $100. Uniforms is pretty much status quo, or actually, no, I'm sorry, that's down 2 from $99.50, I thought it was 6, sorry. And ambulance supplies, we've held the line on that too. All good so far?
Sounds good.
Repairs and maintenance, equipment, there's some contractual obligations, there's,
It's like a battery protect line.
yeah, the batteries for the cardiac monitors, the Zolls, the defibrillators, and the power cots, what do you call it, the striker power cot. We do have the power load cots. We bought partially through the EMS stabilization grant that we were able to purchase the power load cot. So basically, the power load cot is, the cot is, you pull it out, drop the wheels, but when you bring it in, if we were transporting you, you put the patient on the stretcher, and then the buttons lift the stretcher. When you go to the truck with it, the truck actually grabs the cot and pulls it in by itself, picks it up, and supports it. So the potential for back injuries is significantly reduced because providers are not lifting the patients up off the ground now into the ambulance. Game changer.
Sure.
It really is. There is actually another round of grants, hopefully they're coming this year. I don't know what the guidelines will be for those grants, but we're getting the second round of those stabilization grants will be coming. I would assume that we'll be in the same ballpark of about $25,000. But, and that power load was, I'm going from remember, 34,000?
Yeah,
I think it was about 34, and we used some donation money too this year. And there were certain things we could buy with it, with that money from the stabilization. EMS billing is up a little bit. That's because our revenue is up. And as our revenue goes up, our fees to the billing company goes up for the percentage collected. And nothing has changed with the percentage, it's just we have more revenue bringing in. Our calls are up. We average anywhere from 4 to 6 calls a day, thereabouts. So there's very little downtime. Subscriptions and meeting retention. Subscriptions a little bit more, but you're probably all familiar with the subscription program. That's what gets mailed out once a year. It offsets anything that's billed to the insurance companies. And it's been a decent fundraiser, if you will, as well. Dispatch has gone up a little bit. We knew it was going to because we have a contract. It was going up, and next year, I believe it goes up again next year too. And it's also based on our per capita.
Who does our dispatch?
That'd be the city of Biddeford. Police department does it.
So under the Sanford dispatch, is that under our county tax?
Yeah. Well, for the sheriff's office, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them. That's under the
Okay.
sheriff's patrol. Or, yes.
Okay.
And I don't honestly know what they can charge for their services for them. I would assume it's in the $500,000 mark, but I'm not positive. Under hydrants, we're regulated by what their operating costs are, and they gave us a number of 61.5. Actually, it was just, I think it was just under 61.5, 61 and change. So 61.5, very similar to last year's, at 62,000. I'm sorry, did anybody have questions on 70?
No?
Under Ross Corner, that's Department 79, and your tab 19.
I think the
the Roscommon letter in your book, behind the.
Yes.
I think obviously Ross Corner is pretty self-explanatory with what they are. They're a department except to Ross Corner and shared by 3 communities. And as long as they can stay the way they are and active and viable, we're okay.
Seems to work.
I do want to go back and just touch base with you on public safety real quick. What I did tell the board last night is, and the report to them was, we do need to closely monitor where we are with per diem down the road. And if the numbers don't increase, then one thought is out of that 372,000 that we transfer that into either hiring individuals and then look to only have 1 per diem shift versus trying to fill 2. So we're in the ballpark of probably 350 to 360 to hire people, and then we'd have to look at the numbers are to see what the per diem would be. But that we'd be able to utilize some of the existing per diem we have now and not have to worry about increasing it substantially with having 5 more per diem bodies coming in. And the hard part with getting those extra individuals for per diem is that they don't exist, or we don't have those available. And even if we brought all of you on today, if you're only working 1 shift if you decide to work 1 shift this month, that still leaves a lot of vacancies. Because if Tom's only gonna work 1 day, 1 12-hour shift, that's great, but I need Tom to work every week 12 hours or more to balance it out across the month. Because right now we have almost 389 open hours this month coming up. And so that's why our per diem, that's why our overtime has been so high, is because we've had a lot of people taking extra shifts.
The same people.
The same people take a lot of shifts, because they're hungry for overtime, and we have a lot of shifts available, just because we don't have people to pick from.
It's a similar problem to the state police then, right? You read the Portland paper this week. They
All of
release that every year, and, they're state troopers, not even officers, who are making more than the head of public safety for the
Did you
state
see
of Maine.
Massachusetts?
No, I didn't see
Highest
it.
paid state trooper, almost 600,000.
That's because he lives there.
Yeah.
He's living the shifts. And I know we have guys that are wanting overtime, and they want to work the shifts. I get it. And so last week, we met with them and we pulled a lot of shifts, and we didn't backfill for next month yet, because we really wanted to get a better handle on where we're at. And we are gonna we're moving forward to fill all of the full-time slots, but we have a lot of vacancies on the per diem side. We still have per diem guys, the 2 really active ones will still work a lot of shifts, fairly confident with that. But if we can't find bodies, we need to come back to the table.
Why are we struggling to find people to fill that?
The pool is very small. We used to have a lot more. So we've had per diem now for probably close to, 18, 20 years, thereabouts. And so Alfred had 1 slot then. There were more bodies, more individuals available that had certifications that wanted to do it. We actually had more providers from the call force side that they wanted to work a few shifts.
Yeah.
And I'll just use like Hollis. Hollis may not have had anybody on shift, but as the call force declined, and then you're losing those available resources, they start hiring people. And I'm not sure of any agency around here that operates solely on call force. So they've all got people on staff now. Hollis has either got 7 or 8 full-time now. They may actually have more than we do. But in Buxton, they've gone from a department where they had a couple people to, there's more than a couple now, but several full-time. And I think they trans over more similar to with a full-time model versus some per diem. So less providers, more agencies hiring. We had a couple, so we've had 3 that were working for us. They came from another agency, but then got hired full-time, went to that full-time department, and they may work part-time for that other department, but they weren't interested in working in 3 different departments part-time now when they're working full-time. And we lost a lot when, was it Falmouth?
Yes.
Falmouth hired what? How many was it, 16, 17? They hired a lot of
I
people.
remember, yes.
Falmouth and Yarmouth, they hired a ton over the last couple of years.
Well,
And we lost a lot of people. That is not the only reason. Other people got promoted in other departments. So, and our pay was, our pay last year really was a challenge. When we had that letter we gave to you guys, I think we talked about it last year, from our per diem side, that individual is still not back today. He's gone. Because there's too much time in between that we lost them. And then they had
So
family
is
changes.
our
Yeah,
per diem
first.
competitive with other towns?
We are, and that's why we need to closely watch that, and sometimes, and it was hard when we're trying to watch the dollar, and, I think our package, we're trying to maintain that the best we can to be competitive across the board for everything, both full-time and per diem, because the towns are hungry for people up there, and
Yeah.
they're offering whatever they can.
Yeah, right.
And it's across,
Yeah.
it's across the board, so we're gonna have to keep our eyes on that. Do we up that down, next year? We might need to look at it. 3% may not be enough next year, and we need to look at what those other communities nearby are offering. And that was one thing that Hollis and the other communities did around us, is that they'd asked, Waterboro's going up, so they'd increase their compensation to slightly above us, but making it look good that they're going to Hollis. And again, once a provider leaves, and they get established with somebody else, they develop their friendships, or they do,
Yeah, they're not coming
They're not
back.
getting it back.
they don't wanna come back,
And they're
unless something changes in that, something
That
changes.
dynamic
Or there's a
there.
full-time
That
slot.
dynamic changes there,
Right.
or our pay surpasses, and we had that with people bouncing around quite a bit. And I think that's leveled off, but we can't afford to lose people.
Right,
That's what it comes down to,
yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
So those are things we need to look at down the road.
how many do you have, Matt, that are close to getting to retirement?
What's that?
How many are you getting close to have near retirement?
1, 2, so it'll be 1, 2, and then 3 and 4,
Okay.
altogether.
So 4 altogether.
You don't even know, do you?
No.
I'm in that damn list someplace.
I was like, who's 3 and 4?
I was wondering if he was counting himself.
Yeah, that's down the road, but I would say on the full-time staff right now, I mean, we have there's probably 2 in the very near future. And then I would say then there's a third one, and then, yeah, I'm down the ways, but, that will catch up to us.
Yeah,
It
it does.
it does, you can't keep kicking that can down the road.
And I've talked to Dennis a little bit about succession planning down the road, is that, and originally I thought it was this year that we were going to be able to talk about hiring another deputy, to bring another deputy on. Because rather than having it be, we're able to make what we're doing today work because we've had that continuity for many years. Would love to be able to get somebody else in to have 6 months to a year that, okay, we can still make this work. I mean, obviously, right now, today, this combination is saving the town a considerable amount of money. But that's today, but, in the future, we just need to make sure that we have the right people involved. And we need to think about that ahead of time.
Yeah.
So, I would say next year, we need to have that conversation and talk about it. But, the only other thing that's not on here, and I know we can certainly talk about it, and you'll hear about it, I don't know if it's in your book yet, under capital, Selectman Woodson has asked me multiple times, and I know we've been working on it, I don't have the numbers yet. You're obviously aware of fire equipment ordering, and the delay it takes in getting it. I have reached out, so our 2007 pumper is what we're talking about, and potentially ordering for replacement, and getting an article similar to what we did a couple years ago to order. And we're looking anywhere from 18 to 36 months for build time. So we started shopping and getting those specs out there. I can honestly tell you that the specs for a tanker truck, I'll call it the cookie cutter or budget buster, if you will, that gives us the options we need and what we need for equipment on it. Similar to the chassis that what we've got now, was over $1 million. And so we went back to the drawing board and I said, that's not gonna work. And so we've looked at a different chassis, we call it a Spartan chassis, but it's same dealer, but it's basically, we can't make changes to the configuration, to what the truck is. And he's pretty sure he can get us in at under 750. So, that made me feel better, not great, but better than the $1 million. I don't even wanna know what the ladder would cost today to buy that. You know, we bought the ladder, 4 years ago now? And that was at $1 million. I'm guessing that's 1.3, thereabouts. So, I'll have that, hopefully that information by the time we get to the CIP section.
I figured we were looking at $1 million. I mean, it's just the way those,
It's just,
it's the way they are.
it's ridiculous.
Yes.
And if we order it now, in 3 years, we should have it.
18 months to.
How long did it take us to get that roll-off truck, the nice new roll-off truck I see over at the?
Oh, that was, it was like, what, year and a half?
Last week I went and I like, there it is, we got it.
It was a year, almost 2 years. It was quite a while.
Yeah.
And just getting the hoist system for the back was a process.
So have we gotten all the new vehicles that we have put like warrants on saying, we'll do this now, but have
Everything
we
now.
gotten
Yeah.
everything that
We
we
get
have?
everything now.
Everything now,
Okay.
and actually you'll see on the leases, we had some expire this year. And then this year is the last one for, hold on, I'll tell you, the, salt, this is the last year for the, is this the last year for the salt shed that we're in coming up? We have one more year left, correct?
I'm not looking at the document.
Oh, sorry. I believe we have 1 year left on the salt shed, and then that's a $70,000 decrease,
Yep.
or 68 and change. So presumably, by the time we're ready to go for the public works
We will
building,
have that.
We'll have that.
that will help with
Yeah.
any changes. And at the speed we're moving right now with the public works garage, we should be done in 3 years. Maybe 4. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, 3
You
sounds
mean
better.
totally built and everything?
Yeah, well, just seems like the process is taking longer than we wanted at the beginning, and just getting everybody lined up, but,
Yeah.
so, that is in the works. But, yeah, we have several others expiring, like the pumper, or the ladder truck. The ladder truck was a 10-year lease, so that's, 10 years, and that's, so we have that for, we're still there for that one, another 5 years. This is the last year for the loader backhoe, and I know I've moved ahead probably on for your document, but this is some CIP stuff too, but, loader backhoe, this is the last year payment on the loader backhoe. We do need to buy one for the transfer station. You'll see that number later. And we do have 2 small vehicles in the CIP. And that should keep us on track for what we've been, because we've expired a couple others as well. So overall, our lease line has gone down this year, because we've had several mature.
Okay,
Any questions?
any more questions? All right, I appreciate it, Matt. Let's move on to the carryover from the last meeting. We put off the miscellaneous accounts, because we knew there was a meeting going on with the sheriff's department. And we received a couple of, well, let's start with this. So I see you've gone up to 240 on the sheriff's, the contract deputy thing. In other words,
And that number was, like, I went back and took the estimates, and honestly is our best guess for where we're at. And ultimately, I think that the board asked the public last year by article, in the separate article, what their desire was, and it was strongly supported. I think they understand that. I think they're looking for more time than what we're getting today.
Right.
I don't know as if we have any ability or teeth to get any more time out of the contract, and the way the language is, or if we can change it.
If they're not in the town that much, how much continuity are we getting from them as far as learning the different areas, what's going on in different areas?
I think you have two guys that obviously know the town very well, one that knows the
One
town
does.
very well now. And so far, I think that we're seeing and hearing great things about the new deputy at night.
Okay.
Like I said, he was here last night, awesome. I think that, being engaged and participating, that's good. And not faulting the other guy either. I think that
Maybe they can switch off.
I'm not watching them every day. None of us will see what they're doing every day, because I think there's a lot going on. So, the way the contract's worded today, we don't have the ability to influence the schedule, simply put. And unless the town wants to spend a lot of money, it's what we have to work with.
Are they on 10-hour shifts or?
I honestly
12?
don't, is it 10?
I don't know.
I don't know what their schedules are,
We were
honestly.
very short-handed there for a while.
It changes, and I think they work 4 days.
I didn't know if they were covering like more day shifts or kind of splitting it half day, half evening,
No, I think
any night
he comes
shifts
on,
or?
the night guy comes on at either 3 or 4,
Mhm.
and he's here until midnight or whatever time it is. I don't know, if it's a 12-hour or 10-hour shift, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, used to
But I think
be
it's 4 days a
4
week.
days.
Um,
So it's like rotating, basically. like
Yeah,
a fire
they
department.
rotate through, and then they have sometimes there's the days where there's extras on that day, but
Mhm.
I don't know enough about their schedule, honestly.
Yeah, Makes it hard.
Okay. So that's a bucket of worms you guys are gonna have to work out as a select board.
Yeah, but I did, as you see in the number there,
I saw you bumped it up, which is good, because I was gonna say, let's go back to the 262. I just don't want us to be caught short.
and if you look at the numbers in here, those numbers there, now, in the notes there, you see.
Yep.
So Fay is actually a little bit less than that, based on the new estimate. So I guess that number probably could come down a whisker more,
Mhm.
but if you're comfortable just leaving that for now,
Yes.
we can always adjust it later and go down, if we had to. But I also, when we started this a couple years back, as you noticed back, I think it was in 21, 22, I think it was 183,000 expended. I think the issue is we started meeting with them, and we were nervous that, okay, if we're gonna start getting billed,
Mhm.
and we don't have enough, in that
Right.
budget line,
Right,
where do we take it from?
right.
So,
No, I'm with it as far as that goes, pending if the program continues.
yeah. I did take out, of line 15, which is
I was gonna ask you.
The historical
5965, I've taken out $25,000 right now.
Right.
I don't see that being a needed fund, dollar amount for this current, or this coming fiscal year.
Correct.
So we reduced that.
Okay.
And that'll be a conversation we need to negotiate with the Historical Society later on. And we did meet with them last week, and I think everybody agreed that the building won't be big enough for voting. So we still need to pursue options for the school.
Right. I thought, I didn't know how you're gonna cram people. I didn't know what they were gonna rebuilding.
Well, it was, they'd gone big.
We had that gym looking awful small.
Yeah, that was, that's right, because you were there. And we had that conversation when Jim and I, when Jim Carl and I were talking in the lobby.
Yeah.
This is just not gonna work.
No.
So, but I don't, we need to work on the negotiations of the letter, and they're looking for that commitment from the town so they can move
Right.
forward.
Right.
And they're looking to give us record storage space in the basement, controlled climate space, because we are actually out of space for storage here. This stuff is temporary in here, obviously, right now, but we're just out of space.
So can I ask about that? So there are certain, like you only have to hold certain items for a certain number of years, correct? So you're constantly destroying things, but you're constantly putting things back into storage. But is there a lot of stuff going digital now too?
We do have a lot of digital, but are you good with record stuff?
Yeah, some of the stuff that I do, I digitize.
But we also have a lot of stuff that we're having to keep in paper. And we're not talking about but we have zero space here now.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is digital. Yes, if we can digitize it, it's electronic, we've kept it that way, but
Yep.
we have a lot of paperwork, but we have, our basement vault is full,
Yeah.
and it's moldy and nasty, it needs to come out of there, is where it needs to come
Right.
out of. But it's some of the old archived records from many, 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 many years ago that we can't get rid of.
That you can't destroy.
They're big books, what do you call it, the bound ones that,
For the assessor's office?
Yeah.
The commitment books?
The commitments
Yeah,
and-
those are forever.
Yeah.
but that we can't get rid of.
All right.
So, and there was some comment about whether we hire it out to have somebody outside storage. My take on that is I think there's some.
It's off-site and then you can't get to it.
But I think there's a desire to support the Historical Society as a local group
Yeah.
within the community for preserving the history of Waterboro.
How big an area are they?
We were talking,
committed to?
originally it was like 20 by 40 or 20 by 30. And it may, as the room shrinks, it may, the building shrinks, it may not be that big. But
But our commitment's still 25,000.
we don't know that yet.
Oh, okay.
We haven't got to that, so that was the conversation of, okay, is it the same dollar, is it, because right now we're doing 10,000. Is that the same amount? I don't, that's gonna be up to the board to make the decision of how much they're willing to commit.
Okay.
I think the Historical Society does a lot for the town. And hopefully for future generations to see what the town's done.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not sure, I think we all need to sit down and talk about what the value of that is. Say, hey, is that worth 20,000, is it worth 25, or whatever it is? I think they were looking at this as being an opportunity for because they need that to go to the bank as well,
Right, yeah.
so. The York County is a complete estimate. I truly do not know where that is, honestly. Well, we have not gotten any feedback from them yet, so that's just.
The York County shelters?
No, the
Taxes.
tax.
Oh, the taxes, okay, sorry.
So after the meeting last week, I sent out email letters and tried to reach out to the people that we hadn't heard from.
Yeah.
And so one of them, York County Community Action,
We did hear that.
they came back in at, we've been paying $3,500. They came back with a letter asking for $5,000. Obviously, your call. I plugged it in at the same amount as last year.
That's exactly where I would go.
And York County Shelters, I reached out to them. I have not had an official letter back from them. They were going to submit. And I guess for purposes, I still plugged in the same amount as last year. They cited, shockingly enough, shortage in staff and changeover with people. So I talked to the lady from the Veterans Memorial. She was unfortunately in the hospital, but I said then, I still kept the $500 in for the memorial. Southern Maine Agency on Aging had the same request amount, and the literature for the group is in there. And I did preview those, and I see all these organizations are actually contributing a lot to the residents of Waterboro. Kids Free to Grow, I could not reach.
So having said that, looking at this really quickly today, I read it over, I would suggest taking the $500 from Kids Free to Go and give it to the Day One, which is a drug youth type thing. I'd just shift that dollar to them. But that would be the only new request I would, down at the bottom, those ones in red. I don't want to give $2,000 to the Centers for Wildlife.
Is there a reason why the recommendation for the Saco River corridor is in red? Or is that just a typo?
No,
I didn't know if you
it's
were
red.
trying to minus
Well-
it out, or?
So there is a bill that's being submitted to eliminate the Saco River corridor.
Oh,
And I didn't know how that was gonna play out. I know that Representative Woodson has submitted that. And he communicated to us a couple weeks ago. I didn't know where that was gonna gonna map out in the next legislative session, so that's why I put it red, so I wouldn't forget.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, some of the colors are so we don't forget stuff, but.
I didn't know if it was for us.
Yeah, no, so, obviously, as of today, we have a Saco River, Corridor Commission, but, so I did, John, I did look up Kids Free to Grow on the web and to see what they did. I think there's projects there. I think there's stuff that they do in York County. Would you be opposed to splitting it between them and the day one?
Listen, I'm flexible. If I I couldn't find last year's content, information on the Kids Free to Go.
They didn't say.
We haven't seen it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
I've been on their website, there's, it's kidsfreetogrow.org, serving Cumberland, New York counties.
they're doing stuff for Waterboro?
Well, I was hoping to see if I could find their report right here, but,
It says they actually spent the money last year, $500 is there.
Okay.
Well, that's just what we,
that's what we just
give them.
gave
Oh,
them.
you
Yeah,
just gave it.
yeah,
We
we
don't know
gave-
if they
no,
actually
Right.
We
used
don't
it.
know.
So any of these that are expended is because they request the money, and Amber will cut the check.
I can certainly, if you feel they're doing good, I'm fine with that.
Right now, for a 2023 report that I found, municipal supporters is Acton, Alfred, Arundel, Buxton, Hollis, Kennebunkport, Lebanon, Leamington, Shapley, South Berwick, Waterboro, Wells, and York.
It's just who's supporting them.
Right, that's what I said, yeah.
Okay.
The supporters.
We don't know
The
their
municipal
support.
supporters.
Is it run out of the Y?
I don't know, I can't tell you enough. I don't know enough about the program, honestly. And I went back to see if I could find contact information, but I couldn't find any researches, information from that from before, but then so if we have, I guess it's up to what your thoughts are. If you did 250 for that and the day one.
Well, let me do this. I want to go down through these, and you guys tell me what you feel. The American Red Cross, obviously, was $660 last year, and I'm fine with giving them the $660 this year. Caring Unlimited is the, I don't want to be politically incorrect, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Substance?
Domestic
that-
violence?
Oh, domestic
Helping young
violence.
It's
women.
domestic
Domestic
violence,
violence.
I believe. It's, so, I was gonna say battered wives, or whatever the case may be. Definitely a worthwhile situation. So the Kids Free to Go, we could conceivably do 250 there and 250 on day one. Main Public, still $100. Saco River Corridor Commission, $800. Southern Maine Agency on Aging, $2,900. The Cemetery Association, $500. York County Community Action, they want $5,000. Well, it's nice to want, but I think the $3,500 that's a pretty
Reasonable.
large gift. And York County Shelters, I would say we want to keep it to $1,500.
So the amount would still be the same, we're just dividing some of it up?
Yeah, we're splitting the $500 between two of them. When you go down below, the Centers for Wildlife in Cape Nettic, I'm sure it's a no, my answer. My recommendation.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Lake Stewards of Maine, yeah.
Well-
Do we take courses from them?
So we worked with them, and they worked with us last year with Little Ossipee.
That was my question.
And
Okay.
I don't know if you saw, I highlighted, I put it in
Yep.
bold on that one. And I was thinking that probably made some sense.
Okay.
For what they were doing for us, with the bladder war.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
about, yeah.
So when I saw that one, like, that really makes sense to
That's
me.
a hard one to say no to.
What's
Yeah.
that?
That's a hard one to say no to.
That's the Lake
Well,
Stewards of Maine.
when we need some of that volunteer monitoring.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then Sweetser, basically, they sent us a cover letter and their annual report. Well,
I didn't see an amount in there.
There was no amount,
request.
but
No,
they,
didn't.
you know, and I understand that, yes, when you watch the news, they had to pull some people back from the schools and stuff, or they weren't making money. It was costing them money to put those people in place, but, not this time. But I know we both went to grade school or junior high in Saco, and Sweetser had a lot of kids there. There was all foster kids and kids with issues and stuff, but they do good work. But
They didn't ask for money.
I was gonna
They
say,
just sent
they
in
really
information.
request, yeah.
well, I get it. It was like an open-ended and whatever you think is right. Well, talk about it, guys. Tell me.
I would have felt better if they put an amount that they were looking
How much does the school send over there?
for. Right.
I don't know.
Does ours
No,
do
their
50?
reports, I mean, the report says it all. School districts is
They
one of
support
their
it.
Yeah, I think
bigger
they need
supporters.
It's supported mainly by what, insurances and school?
I used to work at Sweetser. They have lots of money.
Yes.
Okay.
So, all right, well, so we're gonna go 250 on day one, 250 on,
So you're adding 250 to the 5, right?
250 on, for Kids Free to Grow.
Yeah.
and 250 on day one,
On day one,
and
and
then
500 for Lake
500 for Lake
Stewards.
Stewards of Maine.
And that would bring us to 857, 841.
So are you decreasing the centers for wildlife?
We are not
We
doing
are
the
not-
centers for
yeah.
wildlife.
Nothing at all?
No.
Okay.
Again,
We never
this is
have.
an
No.
open discussion, but they,
I don't know anything about them.
I first thought it was that rehab place up in Leamington or whatever that takes care of the wounded animals you see on the,
They're very concerned with the eagles.
yes.
Okay.
And you could have a lot of people send you a request. And
Yeah.
All worthy causes, but we can't help all of them. So, but again, you guys tell me what you want to do. All right, so you got that number, Debbie?
Yep, 857, 841.
Huh? I got 13,341 for the total of the agencies.
Oh, I
She's
was
done the
looking at the
column.
whole
She did the whole
budget.
column.
Oh,
I was doing the whole
All
budget.
right, you two figure it out.
Just add 500 to what you had. Kids Free to Grow would be 250,
I can see the steam.
Day one is
I can see the
250.
steam coming out of her ears.
and Lake Stewards
you
is
just zero
500.
everything.
don't, I don't care what that.
In Lake Stewards was 500, you said?
Yes,
What did you, 857,
Oh, that's right.
841.
841,
Yes.
353, oh, I'm sorry. Can you say the total again?
857,
Yeah,
841.
okay.
And that's off of line C, or column C,
Correct.
just so you know.
Yes, that's the recommended.
Okay?
We've already updated it in the document.
Okay.
All right, so having said that, that's everything we need to go over today. So why don't we start right here and go backwards and vote on these?
I'm fine, I wasn't doing it.
That made it, because Laura has it all set to go, we're gonna vote on this one first.
No, I'm not doing anything over here.
So we
Just
got
listening.
254.
Oh, I was just, I didn't know if you'd written a total.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no. It would be 13, no, it wouldn't.
No.
That's
It
it.
would be, nothing, I was just adding the,
Just had it.
yeah,
Are they all in the network?
We good?
yeah.
All right, so then can I entertain a motion to accept 857, 841 for Department 95 unclassified?
So moved.
I'll
So-
second.
Are we gonna keep the sheriffs
We're gonna keep the sheriffs at 240.
in mind in case Matt comes back with any other
I think-
number? Are you
I-
gonna
I
s-
think-
Are you okay with that number, 240?
I'm okay with that number right now. If something changes,
I think that
we
was
can
Diana
certainly
that seconded.
reconvene.
These- oh,
Diane
I think
second.
it might even be
Yep.
less because you're gonna take 15 away from
And I think that this whole thing is sort of,
Iffy.
yeah, you know,
Okay.
and we can certainly reflect that in our vote, but that's the way it is.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? You get it?
Yeah, she is, would be accepted.
Good. All right, so let's go to Rock Corner. Right. A motion to approve $11,160 for 79 Ross Corner Fire Company.
I motion to approve.
Second. I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? And opposed? We're good. Department 77, Hydrant Rental, motion to approve $61,500.
I motion to approve.
I'll second.
If no discussion, all those in favor? And opposed? We're good. Department 70, Public Safety, motion to approve $1,837,622.
I motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All those in favor? And opposed? Library, Department 50, a motion to approve $162,132.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
And if no discussion, all those in favor?
Were you in favor, Debbie?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, I'm not paying attention.
And last but not least, Department 32, IT, a motion to approve $184,108.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
If no discussion, all those in favor? So be it. Our next meeting is next Monday, correct? 4:30? This is the last Wednesday meeting, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
and we have code enforcement, planning department, zoning board of appeals, and assessing. I'm gonna cover for Shirley, because she can't be here Monday
Okay.
night, but,
Shouldn't be
I don't think
a
there's a-
backbreaker by any means.
yeah, the only thing with that is we're reducing the cost file, or the, not cost, but the evaluation stuff, because we haven't used it this year. We're gonna carry that forward from this year.
Okay.
So the 27th, is that Monday the 27th?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
What he said, yes. And, we need to accept the minutes from our meeting of January 13th, which I saved without reading.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't here.
She's out.
Yeah. I vote to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor? There we go. Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? We're good.